Hello, myself Deepmala Meena. I welcome you for the fourth lecture of our topic Dynamics of Rigid Body. In last lecture, we have discussed about theorems of moment of inertia, in which we have studied about perpendicular axis theorem. In today's lecture, we will discuss the theorem of parallel axis and also rotational kinetic energy. So, let us start with theorems of parallel axis. First, we will take the statement for this. The moment of inertia of a body about any axis is equal to the sum of its moment of inertia about a parallel axis passing through its center of mass and the product of its mass and the square of the perpendicular distance between the two parallel axes. This is the statement for theorem of parallel axis. Now we will have proof for this. For this we are having this figure. First we will explain this in the form. Okay. Let me consider a rigid body of mass m rotating about an axis passing through point O. This is the axis passing through point O, this I0, and perpendicular to the plane of the figure. Okay, we are considering a rigid body like this. Now, let the moment of inertia of the body about axis passing through point O is I0. Here we are taking this axis passing through O is I0, and this is parallel axis which is passing through center of mass, and we will take this IC moment of inertia. Okay, so moment of inertia of the body about this axis passing through O is I0. Now let me take another parallel axis of rotation passing through the center of mass of the body. This is another parallel axis. Okay, let IC be the moment of inertia of the body about point C. Okay. Let the distance between the two parallel axes be h. Means this distance OC between these parallel axes is OC equals to h. Okay. And OP equals to R. What is OP? Here OP equals to R, where we have taken any point P with having mass dm. Okay, this distance OP equals to R, and CP equals to R0. What is CP? This CP equals to R0 means the position vector of this point P from the origin is OP equals to R, and from the center of mass is CP equals to R0. Okay, now we will take a small element of body of mass dm situated at a point O. Here where we are taking a point which is having mass dm. So join OP and CP, then join, okay, OP and CP. Then I0 equals to OP square dm. This is I0 equals to OP square dm and OP equals to R. So we will write this R square dm, and IC equals to CP square dm. This is CP. CP square dm means R0 square dm. So we are having these two equations. Okay. Now from point P we draw a perpendicular to OC. This is from point P we will draw this line on this. Okay. Let CD equals to X. What is CD? This CD. We draw this perpendicular in this line and the distance of CD equals to X. Now we are having the distances OP equals to R, CP equals to R0, OC equals to H, and CD equals to X. Now we will solve this. From figure we have OP square equals to OD square and PD square. OP square equals to OD square and PD square. Okay, PD square. So we will write OP square equals to H plus CD square. What is OP? OP square equals to H plus CD square. Means we can write this OD H plus X square means plus PD square. Okay, this is OD. On solving this, we get H square plus CD square plus 2HCD plus PD square. So OP, this is from, all calculation is from this figure. So we have to in mind this figure. Okay. So we get OP square equals to CP square plus H square plus 2HCD, because CP square equals to CD square plus PD square. This CP square equals to CD square plus PD square. Okay. So we get R square equals to CP square equals to R0 square plus H square plus 2H XCD equals to X. Multiplying above equation with dm on both sides and integrating this equation, we will multiply this by dm and we will integrate it. This r square dm multiplying, and this is integration r0 square dm integration h square dm integration plus 2hx dm integration. Or we can rearrange this r square dm as it is r0 square dm plus h square dm plus 2h. This is in integration x dm, as x dm integration is equal to 0, because C is the center of mass and algebraic sum of moments of all the particles about the center of mass is always 0 for a body in equilibrium. So this equation become, on taking this term is 0, r square dm plus r0 square dm plus h square dm, all over in the term of integration. So this r square dm is I0, this r0 square dm is IC, means this is the moment of inertia about the axis passing through O. This is the moment of inertia of body about the axis passing through center of mass, and this is the mass of the whole body, and this is h square. So we will have IC plus mh square, which is in the statement. What was the statement? Statement was the moment of inertia of a body about an axis is equal to the sums. We are taking the I0 equals to IC plus mh square, sums of its moment of inertia about a parallel axis, because IC is the moment of inertia and that axis parallel to the first axis which is passing through the origin, which axis is passing through its center of mass, and the product of its mass. What is mass? M. And the square of the perpendicular distance between the parallel axis. Okay. This statement has proved. In the statement, we are having the moment of inertia passing the axis of axis of rotation, which is passing through origin O, and this is equal to the sum of this. What is this? IC is the moment of inertia to the parallel axis and which is passing through center of mass, plus the product of these two terms. Which term? First, mass of the body, and second, perpendicular axis distance. Means if both axes are parallel and h is the perpendicular distance of both axes. So this is our proof for the theorem. Now we will take kinetic energy of rotation. Okay, let we start. When a rigid body rotates, its particle rotate with some same angular velocity omega about the axis of rotation in circular paths of different radii. Okay, it's clear. Now let the axis of rotation passes through the center of mass. Means which is rotation axis passing through the center of mass of the rigid body, and the center of mass is itself in origin. If the position vector and velocity of ith particle are these, then we have linear velocity Vi equals to omega cross Ri for the ith particle. Now, we know that kinetic energy of ith particle is Ei equals to half mi Vi square. Okay. So, putting the value of Vi, we have half mi omega cross Ri dot omega cross Ri. This is the kinetic energy of ith particle. For the total kinetic energy of the body, we will take the summation of this kinetic energy. So, total kinetic energy E equals to half mi Vi square half mi omega cross Ri dot omega cross Ri. Now we will use vector identity A cross B dot A cross B. Then what is its solution? A dot B cross A cross B. So putting this vector identity in this, we get omega cross Ri dot omega cross Ri. Then we get omega dot Ri cross omega cross Ri. Okay. Here omega dot Ri, we have, this is the linear velocity for ith particle. So we will write here only in the single form Vi. Okay. So total kinetic energy will be half mi omega dot Ri cross Vi. Okay. So Ri cross Vi equals to, we will take this mi in bracket and this mi Vi term will be Pi. So we have half omega dot Ri cross Pi, and we know that the angular momentum J equals to R cross P, and for ith particle Ji equals to Ri cross Pi. So we will write here Ji, and taking the summation in this term, summation of Ji, we get the angular momentum for the system which is having n number of particles. So we get kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy in the form of angular momentum will be half omega dot J. This is our expression for rotational kinetic energy. Now we will explain this in the form of components. Okay. So E equals to half omega dot J can be written in the component form. What we can write? Half, this is summation mu, we have taken here component as mu. This is omega mu and J mu. Okay. And we also know that J mu equals to summation of nu I mu nu omega nu, which we have taken in the previous section. Jx equals to Ixx omega x Ixy omega y plus Ixz omega z, and similarly for Jy and Jz. So we have taken this in the form of mu and nu, where the value of mu and nu can be x, y and z. So in the component form, if we put, we are having E equals to half mu nu I mu nu omega mu and omega nu. This is our form, and mu and nu can be x, y and z. So we can write this in the component form. Then we will get E equals to, when mu and nu both are x's, xx, mu and nu both are yy and zz, then term will be Ixx omega x square plus Iyy omega y square plus Izz omega z square. And when we will take these mu equals to x, nu equals to y, then we get these of the terms. Okay. Now, if symmetrical rigid body is rotating about x-axis only, then only component of omega will be omega x, and the other component y and z, omega y and omega z, will be 0. So rotational kinetic energy can be written in the form E equals to half Ixx omega x square. If axis of rotation is principal axis, in previous section we have discussed about these. So we can write Ixy, Iyz, Ixz all will be 0. What we will write? Only Ixx will be Ix, Iyy will be Iy, and Izz will be Iz. So we can write the rotational kinetic energy E equals to half Ix omega x square plus half Iy omega y square plus half Iz omega z square. For symmetrical bodies, we can take Ixx, Iyy and Izz can be written as I. So rotational kinetic energy in the form of moment of inertia can be written as E equals to half I omega square. Now we will have an example to understand this. If Earth suddenly contracts such that its radius reduces to half of the present value, what would be the duration of time? Question is saying that radius of Earth reduces to half, means if r is the radius of Earth, then it will reduce to r by 2. Then what will be the duration of time? Okay, so we know, assuming Earth is spherical, we are having moment of inertia for the spherical body I equals to 2 by 5 m r square, and duration of time will be t equals to 24 hours. Okay, so we have from the law of conservation of momentum, I omega equals to I dash omega dash. So this is the value of I, 2 by 5 m r square into 2 pi by t. This is the value of omega, and I dash is, I dash according to the question, I dash is 2 by 5 m. The earth contracts its radius to r by 2. So we will write here r by 2 whole square, and also 2 pi upon t dash, because we have to find this t dash after contraction. On solving this, we get t dash equals to t by 4, and the value of t is 24 hours. So we get t dash equals to 6 hours. Means if the contraction of earth is in the way that its radius reduces to half of its present value, the time duration will be 6 hours. Okay. Calculate, now my second example is calculate the percentage change in rotational kinetic energy when a solid sphere suddenly contracts to half of its radius. This is previous section type question, means solid sphere radius reduces to half. As we know, moment of inertia of solid sphere is I equals to 2 by 5 mi r square. According to the question, it reduces to half. What reduces? Radius reduces to half. After contraction, the moment of inertia will be I dash equals to 2 by 5 m r by 2 square equals to 1 by 4 2 by 5 m r square. So this is the value of I, means after contraction I dash will be I by 4, 1/4 of the present value. Okay, so from the law of conservation of angular momentum, what we have? I dash omega dash equals to I omega. From this angular velocity, omega dash will be I upon I dash omega, and from this equation I upon I dash will be 4. So we can write omega dash will be 4 omega, means the moment of inertia will be 1/4 of the present value, and the angular velocity of 4 times of the present angular velocity. Okay, so we will find the rotational kinetic energy. We know the rotational kinetic energy E equals to half I omega square. We have proven this previous section, previous slides. After contraction, what will be this value? After contraction, E dash will be half I dash omega dash square. This is the kinetic energy after contraction. So half the value of I dash is I by 4 and value of omega dash is 4 omega. On solving this, we get E dash equals to 4 multiplied by half I omega square. This half I omega square is what? Rotational kinetic energy in normal situation without contraction. So what is the kinetic energy after contraction? E dash equals to 4 times of E, which is before contraction. Okay, now we will find the percentage change in the rotational kinetic energy. For this is the formula: E dash minus E upon E multiplied by 100. So E dash is 4E minus E upon E into 100. The percentage change will be 300%. Okay, it is clear. Now thank you. In next lecture we will discuss about precessional motion of the spinning top.